Hello everyone, my name is Faith Mutegi and this is my platform, Parenting Conundrums, whereby we look at parenting, the parenting journey through the child's eyes or through the eyes of a child. So this will be part 2 and I'm hoping to get the pointers through of why you should be more of a parent than a friend to your child, especially in the formative years and, for me in the context of the Constitution, 18 years and below. Friendship will come in small doses, but right now we should not forget the roles that we need to play as a parent. So it is not wrong to want to be loved. It is not wrong to be a friend to your child. But as I said in my previous video, which I'll link up and which I'm hoping you have watched, if not, I'm hoping you will get to that. The thing about childhood is you are imparting. It's like they are the most effective sponges that you'll ever come across. That's where you give them as much information as possible before you release them, before your influence in that child's life starts diminishing. Because let me put it this way, you will not be the most important person in your child's life moving forward. They will get friends, they will get other people who they will listen to, or the gadgets or whatever else. Basically, as let me put it in the phrase of, in their preteens, they start valuing other people's opinion more than you. So it's like you have to put in, hardwired, or in the hard drive of the child, what you need to impart, and then you give them in small doses, or you increase, or you will add on whatever else as they grow up. But as of now, when you are of greatest influence, especially before the preteens, by the time I'm saying preteens, I'm saying for girl, that is 8 years old, for boy, it's 10 years. Please don't wait for your child to hit 13 for you to think you're handling a teenager. In the current situation or the society that we live in, the season that we live in, the girls, please start talking about your child, to your child about some of the things. By the way, I'm even getting to the meat of this particular video. But let's start there. Let's continue from there. So in the previous video, I mentioned about structure. You are there to give the child structure. This is how we behave in society. This is how we behave in the family. This is how you behave when you go to a visitor's house. By the way, if there's one thing I have noticed is that we do not tell our children what not to do at a visitor's house. Like if right now you took your child for a birthday party and they did what? They find the other child's toys are in a basket. Do they treat those toys as someone else's toys or as their own toys? Because I remember there's a place I went to a while back, years back, and the child literally went for the basket and toppled everything over, and I believe they may have gone home with some of the birthday party boys' toys. I'm hoping you get what I understand, or what I mean. So by the time in my first video, it was structure, a decent human being. Now, another role, another responsibility that helps you be more of a parent, so that you wear that parent hat 80% of the time, and then the friendship part of the pie comes in later, is you need to impart life skills. You need to give the child guardrails. On the highway, black spots and the rest, basically when it comes to the roads, you know about the guardrails where they have those metal structures such that the dynamic I understand is if the car or the vehicle veers off the road, hopefully it's not moving at such a high speed to knock over, but you're slowly guided back to the highway. Now, let's look at different contexts. There are several. When it comes to life, we are living it. So we know there are so many things that we are handling. But right now, I want to, and remember, as I mentioned in the first video, and I'll not stop repeating it, is you need to keep reminding yourself, what does my child need now? So, I was mentioning about preteens. By the time you have an 80-year-old girl in the house, under your care, as your own child, as a guardian, as much as possible, start equipping her on how to treat the body changes. Please don't wait for when she starts saying that she has had her period or her menses have begun. Like, mom, something is happening in my body. If nobody talked to you when you were younger, doesn't mean the same should happen with your child. So how are you getting guardrails? This, for the girl, let them start knowing that, by the way, as you move on, these sanitary towels or these sanitary items are necessary. You need to put you have to be carrying your sanitary items. If it's an extra panty, you have them in a nice pouch and put them in the bag. And when it comes to that, even now the boy at 10 years, because usually boys mature later, the 10-year-old boys, the boys in your house, if you are you are mama boys, you are mother to boys, just because you're not talking to them about menses or periods, let them know that if ever they saw a girl who had messed themselves up, they should not be the ones laughing out loud. How do they respect? They can let the girls know that, by the way, or they can whisper to a girl to tell that girl that, by the way, there's something wrong. Or just say, give them words like, be on the lookout. Don't be the one to shame the girl who has gone through this. Because that boy will be in a class, an 8-year-old boy is going to be in a class with an 8-year-old girl who has started her periods. So how will they act if they just now go on bullying and making laughter about it? So, life skills. Their body is changing. Let them know. By the way, if it's not you who is going to talk to them, if you find it hard to talk one-on-one, Andika, write it down. Write what lessons you have learned. If you find yourself you are shy and you're not able to write it down because it's weird, get somebody in charge, someone you trust, someone who can come up with children, put them together, and then talk to them about these things. So if it's about the body changes, this puberty, this animal, when it comes to gestures, me and gestures are same WhatsApp group. So what is this thing about? When it comes to the boys, I don't know how to start a conversation about boys. So I tell them, if it's my nephews, I tell them, talk to your uncle. Because remember, your boy, your 6-year-old, your 8-year-old is hanging out with a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old who is talking about circumcision and initiation. And they're talking about body parts and they're thinking, hi, knife, private parts. So already the boy is getting information from elsewhere. So if it is you're a mom, you're a single parent, there's no father figure, there's either they are present or they are not, they don't want to, things happen. Find a way to get, whether it is articles, they are child-friendly articles, put them down, write them down, give the boy, let them know, so that by the time it comes, they are also psychologically prepared, aside from them being biologically ready for the process to happen. So, what am I saying? This is where you hold your position as a parent. You're looking at your child and you're realizing, by the way, this is no longer my baby. Right now, if you were to leave that child by themselves, they are 8 years, they are 10 years, can they cook a meal? A proper, balanced diet, and not just dial and delivery of pizza and everything else. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that happens at the touch of a button, and they know. And we have given them the phones. If it's not theirs, it is someone else's. They will dial and to be delivered. Can they cook a meal? And how do you pass on financial management and cookery? My English teacher would be ashamed. Cooking skills. What is your favorite meal? Okay, what do we need to make your favorite meal? Can we go to the supermarket or to the market or wherever it is that we get the ingredients for your meal? How much does each ingredient cost? How much of each do we need? Then we get to the kitchen. We cook from scratch. Whether we burn it, whether we make a perfecto, we need to repeat, start from scratch. You bond. Are you seeing where you're moving from parent? You are a parent, but there's a dose of friendship. Because when you're slicing the onions, like for me, I will be crying. Because onions and my eyes are not together. They are allergic. I'm allergic to onions, or the onions are allergic to me, whatever the case. But by the time you're doing all that, it's a conversation. It's a friendship. But what are you doing? Life skills. So there's that aspect of puberty. There's that aspect of life, maneno ya life, mambo ya kupika. Let them not be the boy who goes to university, doesn't know how to cook a proper meal, and then they have to get a girl who now does all the basic household. Do they even know how to kushona? Can they repair a button? Or will they dump that shirt and go and buy a new one because they cannot sew back a button? So what does your child need at any given time? And if possible, can you give them in small doses before they get to their period, before they get to puberty, before they need to start making decisions about money, before they have to cook for themselves? Why is it important to make the bed? The bed is always a battle and everything of the sort. When it comes to hygiene, why is it important that even elbows need to be what? Oiled, like lotion and your body, especially for the boys. Even girls. Why do you need to oil your body? Why do you need to know how to? Will you always be cutting off their nails? No, trimming their nails. Can they know at what length it's proper for them to trim their nails, even for the toes? When it comes to how to speak in public, let there be a moment whereby you all sit down and maybe you have been preparing. You say you present your name, your favorite poem, or maybe just say something. It's a song. It's within the family. So the TV is off, the gadgets are down, and everybody has something to present, and they stand. One of my nephews, the first time he saw me writing, he was like, "Haya." Until Neza Andika, he had never seen me writing down anything. So has your child ever seen you reading a book? So when you keep telling them read, and they have never seen you reading a book, they are only seeing you on the phone. Yes, I know you can read a book on your phone, but children are not using their phone every time, they're using books. So when you tell them, can you read a book, and they have never seen you putting off the TV and the phone to read a book, how will they follow? They will only follow what teacher says, and teacher is all about education, it's about school. So anything recreational thing, nothing. So life skills, children need to know how to read like actual material. Let them stop using the gadgets every single time, because ladies and gentlemen, their attention span is going 3 seconds. You get bored with Instagram, you go to Facebook. Once you're done with Facebook, you go to YouTube. Once you're done with YouTube, you go to somewhere else. The TV never ends, it's there. So if you get bored with something, self-control and long-term memory is just diminishing. That will be another topic when it comes to reading. By the time you tell children, can you stop reading? Can you stop watching TV? Can you stop with their phone? What do you want them to do? There's nothing else. They have not been guided, guardrails on what else to do aside from getting the entertainment from the gadgets. And the gadgets are there for that purpose. Keep you hooked. So I'm saying, be a friend, but more so be a parent. Look at each of your children, even though they are twins, and see what do they need. They are teenagers. So is it me to have that conversation? Is it somebody else to have that conversation? If the internet is there, the same way you're getting information, find out what are these key areas. And I'm here to assist. That's why I'm putting up these videos, just to strike that, like you get the light bulb moment and you'll be like, yeah, by the way. Because children are not waiting, are not stopping their growth and development so that you until you figure your life out. As you're figuring your life out, the children are growing. So you cannot say until a perfect time, until all this money, until I am able to give them a program. You don't have to send them to a program. If you're able to save up, and then teach them how to save up. Start planning for the holidays. Start saving for the birthdays. They will need financial literacy. They will need to know how to respect people. They will need to know how to talk in public. They will need to know how do they sit by themselves without any gadget. If they were to go somewhere where there's no electricity and they have to survive, will they just say, I'm bored, or they will have to figure life out? So what are these things that we are looking at? It is, as much as possible, be the guardrails. So I know I'd mentioned about the 4 points. So 1, we mentioned, it's about structure. Number 2, life skills. You are there to impart life skills. Number 3, supervision. I want to end this. Then if you have any questions, put them in the comment, let me know, and we'll be here. I'll have that conversation with you. Supervision. Once you teach somebody, Even you, if you're taught the first time, you try it out, you make mistakes, and maybe you consult somebody else, and then you get better at it. So don't start thinking that just because you have told your child once, they will get it and they will get it. You tell them that A, B, C, and D, the rules, the structures, and all that information that we are talking about, and then you supervise. Are they doing it well? Are they flunking? That's why even mambo ya tuition and the academics. Don't just give tuition on academics, even other things. Making their bed, the corners. If it is cooking, safety, apron, fire safety, if fire broke out, all those things. So you let your child know. And then, if you have supervised them, and they are still making mistakes, and you realize that, by the way, I have done the coaching, I have mentored you, I have talked, then discipline comes into place. And this is where you put rewards and consequences. So even as I end this, remember, when it comes to being a friend, you are at the same level. Like in a proper friendship, nobody is in charge of the other. You are there, mmependana. You have, like in this grand scheme of things, two strangers became friends, and you each respect each other. And when it comes to, even if you look at your own friends, like when you're talking to your friend, unafungua roho without judgment, like without speed governors. Yes, you put some speed governors, but you open up because it's a safe space. Now, you cannot always be the same. That is not always the case with children, because with parent-child relationship, there's a source of authority as a parent. So if you are just a friend to your child, who is authority of who? The child will be the authority, because they will just move or twitch and you'll be like, yes, what do you want? Because they take up the gap that has been left missing. And that is the part of authority. So I'm not saying don't be a friend to your child. I'm saying in the process of being a parent, looking at what does my child need, you will automatically be a friend, because you become approachable on the very things this child is curious about or wants to learn more about. So I'm hoping this and the previous video has been insightful, and that I'm giving you a virtual hug, because I'm saying as much as possible, please, you're not a bad parent. Life happens. But now that you know better, we do better, isn't it? So just review and see, what does my child need now? Then create that environment and let them bloom. Like the beautiful flower and the rose on this side, which you may not see, that are blooming around me. Okay? See you soon, and thank you so much for the support online and offline. Bye-bye.